My Hero Academia. This is My Hero Academia, chapter 329, In the Nick of Time, a big-time maverick from the West.
And I'm also going to reveal that this was Christian's original RGC. I'm wrong?
It was at least between this and another series. I was very...
Okay.
One Piece wasn't in the equation even before we started the show, honestly. So...
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
I know. I've been surprising you a lot with my RGC choices. But this is My Hero Academia. We open up with just All For One sitting in his chair with life support and still a dapper-ass suit. Look, he always has to look clean. He can't just be lounging around in a T-shirt or something.
Yeah, I mean, he had his jail clothes on for a little while, but,
Yeah.
He's got that off him.
He's got 2 high-end Nomu beside him. Oh, 3. Maybe there's like a third one in the background. And he's explaining how, like, the convicts that escaped from the various prisons in this world have made it very easy for them to just chill and hide for a while. So, they've won this little battle of hide and seek. Spinner is with him, and he mentions that we could have also won by just leaving the country. And he's like, you misread my intent.
Incorrect.
This is where you're playing checkers and I'm playing chess, little boy.
You little lizard man.
Listen here, little lizard boy. He's basically saying that winning this little match was a short-term objective and obtaining one for all is just the mid-game goal. It's not the final goal. And All For One reveals is like, I've been planning my entire life. I've been planning longer than Eisen has. And I have...
Sure.
And I have friends on the other side. He has so many friends across the globe. And I'm like, damn, how charismatic is All For One? They could just travel around the globe and accrue just so many criminals to be on his side.
But, I mean, he's the shiestiest nigga alive,
Yeah.
He attracts shiest.
Yeah. So yeah, he basically said All Might may have eradicated organized crime here in Japan, but other nations is a different story. And once
that's really gangster, yo.
Yeah. And he's like, once all of those like criminal organizations start acting up, each country will just have to fend for themselves at this point because they can't fight us here in Japan and the threats that are at home. So, this is pretty sweet for me. And Spinner asks him, okay, what's this obstacle and what's the opportunity? And All For One knows of Star and Stripe, the strongest woman around and the greatest hero in America. And he actually respects her strength. He's like, yo, my tactics probably wouldn't really work on her because she's so fucking strong that she just kind of like, she just supersedes any shystiness. So,
Because she's pure?
No, I think it's just
because... I don't understand.
I think it's just because she's, like, so fucking strong. She's like All Might, in that way, where, like, All Might can just push through any shysty behavior with just brute force. But, yeah, basically it's like, this is a gamble. So the objective for All For One right now is to steal Star and Stripe's quirk and use it on his side. And once he has her quirk, the rest of the shit is easy money GG style.
We call that easy money GG.
So that's the plan there.
You can just mop up everything else.
Yeah. So he also says that he has a plan for Spinner. And it turns out that Spinner has become kind of like the hero of the heteromorph community. Just like folks who are like animal people or some kind of physically different from normal human beings that have kind of taken to him as their voice, as their leader in a way. And we cut to the outside world where a couple of the Paranormal Liberation Front surviving advisors are still around, and they used to work under, and these are the ones that used to work under Spinner directly. And that's something I didn't notice for when they were breaking down the different tiers and different sections of the Paranormal Liberation Front, that these guys were actually seen before. So it's cool to see them again. I'm glad that they weren't just like some randomly designed people, that they're actually like villains that we'll probably have to see down the line. I'm excited to see them go up against. I imagine, main characters are going to fight against these guys. You know what I think? I think the kid that speaks to animals, I think he's going to fight Spinner for some reason because he's a heteromorph.
That would be crazy. Yeah, he is a heteromorph.
Yeah, I think he's going to be...
Maybe the kid with the tail would be there too.
Yeah, maybe.
That'd be interesting.
But that would be like,
We call that easy money, GG.
For Ojiro. It wouldn't be... It would barely be a challenge for him.
Is that Spinner? Not Spinner. Stain.
Where?
In that split face with Spinner and...
Yeah. That basically... I guess Spinner is kind of taking more of a mantle similar to what Stain represented in the League of Villains. He's being that for the heteromorph community, I guess.
Oh, he does have that mask. Because he likes Stain.
Yeah, Spinner.
I wonder if they'll run into each other. That'd be interesting.
Oh, I know they will. They'll have to. It's built up. It has to be. So it turns out the League of Villains are actually kind of scattered right now. We don't know where Toga is. Dabi is, I'm probably going to keep calling him Dabi because I'm used to it. But Dabi's still out there just vibing, hiding in the woods, I guess. But yeah, he's all for one. This is actually Skeptic talking. While he's communicating to any people who will listen, just like, just shit posting.
Yeah.
He's explained that like Redestro saw himself as the light and hope they represent. It makes no difference whether the League of Villains are true liberators, destined to accept this mission and burden. Hold them sacred. We shall endow them with divinity. He's basically doing like propaganda for them.
Right.
And we cut back to the heroes. It turns out Best Jeanist and Hawks are on their way with Endeavor to go meet Star and Stripe. They're going to meet up with her plan immediately. Don't waste any time. They got no time to waste. And it turns out they get... Hawks gets a call. Well, first of all, Best Jeanist mentions that there's this treasured vintage denim from the Gold Rush that he's been meaning to ask about. It's like, is this just going to be a new weapon for Best Jeanist? I hope so. I think... How funny would it be like to play on that trope of like the ultimate move and it's just jeans? It's just special jeans.
Not with any charms or powers, just, those jeans, man. Made by this guy.
Those are the flyest jeans I've ever seen. Holy shit, he's going to kill us.
He's quaking fear.
Yeah, Endeavor calls out to the Gene Mobile. And he's just yelling like, a report just came in along her flight path 50 kilometers ahead of the landing point is him. He's shown himself. And we get a 2-page spread of just a hand sticking out of a cloak. And we already know what time it is.
Surprise, motherfucker.
It's Shigaraki flying up to meet Star and Stripe and her fleet of scary government planes.
A bunch of them.
And Star and Stripe doesn't look worried. She's like, hey, such a warm welcome even before I arrived. Are you that free to do as you please, mister? And she asks, are you the villain they call All for One? And in a splash page, Shigaraki just looks at her and says, good question. What am I exactly? And he's riding a Nomu in the sky. And that's where the chapter ends.
Not gonna lie. It
was pretty cool.
Pretty cool. And the only salvation to this is that Brian isn't here to go ham and be like, oh, you like this now? I don't know if he would, but I definitely feel like a jackass whenever I actually start liking my hero because I talk a lot of shit. No, but this is hype as fuck. This is giving me Endeavor versus the Nomu vibes.
Oh yeah,
sudden and like you about to meet her and see what she's about right now.
Yeah,
and she get clapped.
I'll say this: I did not expect this to happen at all. This was a really big surprise for me. I didn't expect Shigaraki to just pull up and be
When
like,
he met her in the sky.
yeah, he said, "What's up? I heard you're coming to fight me. Let's just get this over with."
Listen, Midoriya developed some of his techniques going up against the sniper lady, right?
Yeah.
Shigaraki's about to develop going against the strongest hero in America.
Yeah, it's like Superman and Captain America combined.
Yeah, basically, it's very American.
So her name is Star and Stripe, which is a Captain America special move in Marvel vs. Capcom.
Oh shit!
Star and Stripe.
Yeah. He it's the combo move. He hits you 3 times.
Yeah,
exactly. I remember that.
Yeah, this was a pretty great chapter, and honestly, I think it gives a little hope that the series actually has more legs than we think. Just with like, All For One saying like just getting all One For All is not the end goal. I have a bigger plan even after that. It gives a little more legs, and they keep mentioning that there are villains across the world. We might see more of that, of just like outer Japan struggles. I don't know. I feel optimistic. Maybe I'm reading into it, but I like to think that. like like Horikoshi's like, just because I said final act doesn't mean it's not gonna last a couple more years.
That's fair. I was actually thinking the same exact thing as you was finishing up talking about the chapter. I thought about it differently though. I really don't think that we're going to get much of a glimpse into the other countries outside of like quick flashes of it. I don't think we're going to get any dedicated like chapters towards something going on in another country. Mm-hmm. Or any of these kids traveling outside of Japan to help out, or what I mean. I don't think anything like that's going to happen. But when he calls this the final act, all that really means is that, like, I'm starting to realize that just means, like, look, like, this is the direction we're heading in, for sure. A confrontation with All For One. That doesn't even mean that the series is going to end after that. Mm-hmm. I think it will, but it doesn't. And I think it's wrong to assume that and feel so strongly. And there's so many battles that can happen before the actual main conflict goes off. All of these plans and things. All of these despair, then getting hope, only to have even more despair, and some, there's a lot that can happen.
Yeah, there's the people who broke out of the prison. There.
Or you talked about Coda versus this dude Spinner. That's at least 3 chapters, probably.
And only like underlings, survivors of the Paranormal Liberation Front that we've seen, but we've never seen in action. Just like Spinner's underlings from before, from this chapter. There's a lot of potential fights. I mean, there's 22 characters in the main cast, like, of the kids. I think they're like it's a full class of children, all of which could, in theory, or at least most of them could get battles on their own, But yeah, I mean, I thought this was a great chapter. I really enjoyed it. This was a short chapter too. This chapter was 15 pages long, counting the title page.
Damn.
And I think it's because, My Hero Academia's new movie is actually that premise that in their training arc between the war and Bakugo, Midoriya, and Todoroki joining Endeavor's agency, they took on a mission in America, and that's what the movie's about. So that's interesting. I don't know if it'll be considered canon. A lot of anime movies coming out these days are more and more considered canon. It's not like how it used to be, where they would just make casual.
Just because it's canon doesn't mean it's a good story that has any real development that's going to stick.
Sure. I'm not saying that. But
it's more like hey, that happened.
That happened.
What are they going to do? Show us a certain ability out of nowhere and then should have seen the movie, you would know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess that's not so bad.
No, they're not going to do that. They're not going to, just because it's canon doesn't mean it'll be like you miss something by not watching the movie, But in any case, that's all I got to say about My Hero. I thought it was a fun chapter. I enjoyed it quite a bit.